everybody. By that, I probably mean like all two of you watching this right now. Um, so I wanted to, I guess for myself as much as anyone else, kind of document this journey that I am starting, which is going to be to get a tummy tuck. And I'm assuming that you probably know what that is. I'll kind of give you a layout of what it is that I'm trying to do with this video and with this series, I guess, because it's going to end up being several videos because again, for myself as much as anyone else, I'd like to document, how this goes and how I'm feeling and the ups and downs, the surprises, and the things that I was prepared for along the way. So, for my personal reasons for doing it, I guess it's because I've had two very large children. One was almost 18 years ago, and she was 9 pounds. And then the other one was about 4.5 years ago almost, and she was 9 pounds, 3 ounces. This does not do great things to your body. So I've done other things, little things in the past for myself, but many of you watching this can probably relate when you actually sit down and think about and answer this for yourself, honestly, okay? When is the last time you did something for you? Obviously, that doesn't have to be as big as a tummy tuck, but when is the last time you genuinely did something for you? And I don't mean like, oh, I cooked this really nice meal. Was that for you? Was that for everybody? It was for everybody. Oh, we went on this nice vacation. Was it the one you wanted? Or was it the one everyone wanted? And I'm not saying that those aren't wonderful things. Of course they are. It's like we enjoy doing these things with our family and for our family, and we do it to see them happy, which is for us. But I digress. I'm just saying, sometimes you need to do something for you. And that's what this is for me. And there's nothing more personal than your own body. So for me, this area of my body is something that I found that exercise and diet doesn't change. And actually, I've found that if I'm at a higher weight, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm 5'6", I'm currently 155, and that's my pretty steady standard go-to weight. But I've gone lower, and when I find myself at a lower weight, even though I'm feeling good about my weight, it's like it deflates my stomach. So it actually, like the rest of my body can kind of like look better, but it actually makes my stomach look worse because there's no like fat holding it, It sounds kind of weird, but it's true. Because the stretch marks, that's my issue. Most of us who are doing tummy tucks, that's our issue, is that these stretch marks create extra skin because it's like where there was just this one piece, it's like now it's stretched out, and then that part in the middle is filled in with a scar, which is a stretch mark. So where you started with this much skin, now you have this much skin, and when you multiply that by hundreds, you end up with basically, a stomach and a half worth of skin, where you really just want a stomach's worth. Is that too much to ask? So a tummy tuck, we'll just get real quick into that because, again, I assume that you know what that is. That is where they take So where it's your stomach, and let's say, belly button, lower abdomen, like pubic area, and then up here, like breast area, right? So they make an incision down here, kind of maybe the shape of an eye is roughly what it is. And it's from hip to hip. And so they make this eye shape incision. They go in, loosen the skin from underneath. They loosen that skin, kind of, sounds gross, kind of like cut around the belly button area and pop that all up. And then now pull this down to close that eye part down here. Sew you up, down close to the pubic area ideally. They make a hole and pull that stem of where your belly button is, because your belly button is connected internally. And so then they take that stem of it, cut a new hole, pull that stem out, suture around that little guy, and that's your new belly button. So you end up with a scar that hopefully you can't really see too much around your belly button. And then you're going to have one hip to hip, and that one, it just is what it is. So you have to kind of decide what it is that you want, because you're not going to have the body you had, pre whatever your reason is for a tummy tuck, children, weight gain and loss, whatever it is. So, pick your poison kind of thing. For me, I would rather have a hip to hip scar than have this extra skin. And my reason is my clothes just don't fit the way that I want them to. And I'm not looking for anything fancy. I'm not going to lie. I'll be in bikinis after this, which I haven't been in 2 decades. But that's not really what I was going for. What I'm going for is I want to be able to wear jeans and a t-shirt and just have it look good, or jeans and a tank top and have it look good, and not have this extra skin situation bothering me. So here, just to show you what I'm kind of dealing with, and I think so many of us are, and this is from, childbearing. So belly button, I don't know if you can see, well, so it used to be pierced, and I have some stretch marks that go up there, and then I also have some stretch marks like below. So basically all of this is like loose skin, not cool, and I want that gone. And you can see this. And so when I try to, and obviously I'm just in my fancy sweats right now, but I just want to wear simple clothes and feel good in them. So jeans and a tank top, jeans and a t-shirt, tuck something in. To be very honest with you, like, I didn't even know what a tummy tuck was until a few months ago. And once I discovered what it was a done deal. Like, I've tried everything for stretch marks and loose skins. I've done the wraps. Come on, guys. I've done everything. You name it, I've done it. Creams, this, that, whatever. None of it does anything. You guys know this. So I just kind of thought, like, this is something that I'm just going to have to deal with. This is something that everybody deals with. I know that. I've seen other women's bodies. I've seen the ones who, God bless them, they just like have these 10-pound kids and then bounce right back and have no problems. I don't know how they do it. That wasn't me. That just wasn't my experience. So again, I just thought this is something I'm just going to have to deal with for the rest of my life. And that's why I kind of, again, figured out this weight, because if I'm heavier, then I really don't feel like I look good in anything. And then if I'm smaller, then I just feel like it messes up my stomach even more. I don't know how to explain it. If you guys are dealing with the same thing, then you know what I'm talking about. It just deflates it. So anyway, I've settled it this week. So once I discovered, I don't even know how it happened, but once I discovered what a tummy tuck was, and that it could like actually cure this, like maybe this isn't something I would deal with literally for the rest of my life. And I love summer. This is the thing, like I love summer. I love summer. I love heat. And I just didn't feel like I could wear the clothes that I want to wear in summer. So summers, for 18 summers, have been like bittersweet because I just love them. But I'm more comfortable in winter clothes. Oh. So anyway, so once I discovered what it was, like the hunt was on. Like I needed to figure this out and be able to like get this done. So I started looking for a doctor, and that started really on Real Self, and there's another website, and I'll link these below. But the way that I started, I mean, a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? So I started looking at before and afters. That's all that mattered to me. I live in St. Louis, so I don't think we're like plastic surgery hub or anything. So I knew it wasn't going to be local. I pretty much knew that. Cost, it's your body. So not really where I was looking to save money. So those things weren't something that I was like extremely concerned about. I figured if I got to that point, it's going to cost a considerable amount of money. Know that. And for me, I was going to have to travel. So I started looking at before and afters, and kind of a deciding factor for many of them, for me, was one, how did the belly button look? It needs to look natural. I see so many of them, and they're these perfectly round, flat things, and I just don't think that that's the typical belly button. It doesn't look very natural to me. And I don't know. I looked at that. There are different belly button styles. Believe that. And when you start looking, you'll see. But also scar placement. And everyone says that they'll do them low. Everyone says that. But if you see their before and afters, that tells the story. Like, do they actually in practice put them low, or do they not? And I've seen so many doctors where on their websites and everything, they pride themselves with these low scars, and some of them will even make up these names, like they coin these little names for them to kind of highlight to the public like how low their scar is. But if you look at their before and afters, it's not. And again, not to be picky, because I understand you're choosing one thing over another, but if you are, you want the best one that you can have. So I want a natural looking belly button, and I want a low scar. We're paying a lot of money for this, are we not? So I went through tons, and I'm talking, I dedicated hours and hours to this. Watched a lot of videos. My 4-year-old, she would see me watching videos, and she would be like, "Are we watching surgery videos?" I'm like, yeah, but she already knew. So she would sit and like look at some of them, not the surgeries. I could only watch like one surgery. It's very graphic. You may not want to actually watch a surgery. They're very easy to find. They're everywhere. But it may not be something that you want to watch. I'm pretty squeamish for that stuff, and it was very difficult for me. So basically from going through Real Self and, you know, the doctor's websites and things like that. And by the way, Real Self, if you haven't already been on there, that's somewhere where people will put their journeys from beginning to end, and their dealings with their doctor and their pictures as they go along. And the really great thing about that, as opposed to other websites, is that no one can edit those or take them down. So if the person gets on there and they're like, my doctor was a disappointment, like I'm botched, it's going to be on there. So that's what you want to see. Yeah, so once I did that, I got it narrowed down to 2 doctors based on the before and afters, really, and looking at reviews from people. And even when you see negative reviews for some people, so the doctor I ended up choosing, I didn't actually see any negative reviews, but the doctor that I had him tied with for a while did have some negative reviews, but read them. There's a heck of a difference between a 1-star review because, you know, I'm botched, and a 1-star review because, you know, he recommended a full tummy tuck and, you know, here's his price, and we went to another place and we got a mini tummy tuck for, you know, less. Okay. Read the reviews. Just read the reviews, and decide for yourself what carries weight with you and what does not, because it's a very personal decision. This is your body. You're going to be the one living with it. Hi, baby girl. My little one. Come here, big mama. This is my 9-pound 3-ouncer. Wrecked me. So, yeah, so I couldn't find one in St. Louis, and I ended up going down to Pensacola and meeting with the doctor there. And after meeting with him, it's a done deal. He answered all my questions, and I'm comfortable and confident. Okay, so here I just want to give you a good idea of what I'm starting with. You can see my problem area is really, like I said, from childbearing. So this is where I have my stretch marks, and it's given me a lot of loose skin. It doesn't always seem like it looks that bad. Like here, it doesn't really seem like it looks that bad, right? I don't know. But when you put it in clothes and it's kind of being squeezed, then that's where I run into a problem. I can hide it a lot with deliberate effort, but this right here is what I'm talking about. And so I'm kind of just ready to do this. I'll do videos on all the things I asked my doctor, and how I knew he was the right one. I'll also do everything after surgery and everything. So I look forward to sharing with you, and stay tuned. I'm excited. Seeing eyes of mine, you see, there are no trees inside of me. In this desert I can